You're listening to The Endless Party with your hosts,
Megan Elijah Armstrong. Hello, everybody, and happy Thanksgiving.
Woohoo!
Woohoo! It's Thanksgiving Day when we publish this, and so we just want to wish you and your families a happy Thanksgiving and share a short little Thanksgiving message with you.
Yeah, absolutely. So we don't want to take up too much of your time, so we'll try to keep this episode brief. But I don't know if this is true with Meg or with any of you, but so many people just kind of brush over Thanksgiving as if it's just like a neglected holiday. I've even heard it that some people say it's like a pregame for Christmas, right? And I don't necessarily agree with that. Don't get me wrong. I think that Christmas does outshine Thanksgiving because it's the birth of our Lord and Savior, right? I think that's kind of more important. However, I don't think we should just neglect a day where we can really just give gratitude and express our appreciation. So today I just wanted to talk about some of mine and Meg's favorite traditions, and hopefully the traditions that we're able to start with our own kids, as well as what we are truly grateful for on this day. But before I go into that, there was actually, I think it was last year, me and Meg were in Arizona, and oddly enough, my parents and my brother came.
Oh, yes.
For like a little bit to Meg's family's home, because for whatever reason it just worked out, because my parents actually invited Meg's family to our family cabin like 3 or 4 times.
So they reciprocated.
And so they're like, hey, you should come down the week of Thanksgiving. And so my parents and brother came, and while we were in the back seat driving from the airport to your home, we started talking about like if there was any Thanksgiving songs.
Oh,
if you remember this. I don't know if you remember
this.
But we started to look them up, and so we came across one by Ben Rector. I believe it's Rector. I always want to say Reactor, but it's always Rector. And he has this beautiful song called Thanksgiving Day, and it just goes through like all the nostalgia of a good quality Thanksgiving holiday. I'm not going to give you the lyrics because I think you all should go just listen to it, especially on this day of days.
It's the perfect song to listen to.
It is a beautiful Thanksgiving Day song. So I just want to express this real quick in just what I'm truly grateful for. And I would encourage all of you to just take a moment to just ponder what you're grateful for on this Thanksgiving Day. So one of which is, of course, my wife. I'm most grateful for her because she actually encouraged us to start this podcast in the first place. She's always believed in me, supported my dreams, my ambitions, even though they may be lofty and crazy and everything else. I'm very much grateful for her and the relationship that we've been able to form over these past 3 years of just dating, but then just over 2 years of marriage.
That's so nice of you. My first thing I was thankful for too was you. Mm-hmm. Just you're my rock, you're my support, and I just am so thankful to be your wife and that we get to have our family together, and I don't know, it's just good.
Yeah, I would agree with that.
It's just a good time.
The next thing would actually be our 2 baby girls.
It was mine too.
We're just incredibly grateful for this opportunity to be their parents. And I hope when they listen back to this podcast, when they're a little older and they can understand it fully, that we truly are grateful for them and they are a blessing in our life. And we're just truly blessed to be able to be their parents.
It's so interesting that you're so thankful to have an opportunity to like love your children.
Right.
Even though, I mean, they're the best, but they bring...
They bring financial hardship. They bring struggle. They bring in a lot of things, right? I'm not saying that you've done that to us by any means, girls, but they do. They bring a lot.
They bring a lot of responsibility onto your plate.
I think a prime example of this, right? It's just the understanding. If I were to pass away today, I know that my wife would be okay because she is a functioning, able, independent woman. My babies would not be okay.
No.
They would because they have Meg as a mom, and that's great. But that's my understanding, you know. And so
I think what's also cool is, like, if you were to die today, a piece of you still lives on.
right,
Like, you have that legacy.
which is cool.
It's so cool to think about.
Yeah,
So
I would
we are
agree.
so thankful for them.
Yes, 100%. I also wanted to say we're grateful to live in the country in which we live, which is the United States of America. Wherever it is that you live, I'm sure you are grateful to live in a land that is free, but we truly are very patriotic of this country. And we're just grateful because it allows us to create unrestricted. It allows us to be able to create things like this podcast or books or businesses or whatever it is that you want to be. Like, I truly believe that the American dream is still very much alive for any and every person that wants to pursue it. So I'm grateful to live in this country.
Absolutely. I second that. I am super thankful also just for the relationships in my life that are very positive. The ones I have with my siblings and some close friends that just bring light into my life and make me excited about living, and just those people who are there to support and encourage you.
Oh, absolutely.
I'm just so thankful.
Yeah, that's beautiful. I also am just grateful for eternal truths, as I would call them. And what those are is core principles or core values that allow me as an individual to just stay on the path that I believe is the right path. And ultimately that leads me to, I think, what I'm most grateful for is Jesus Christ.
Yes.
And it's his teachings, it's his principles, it's his eternal truths that allow each and every one of us to really stay on the path leading back to him and back to God.
Yeah, that's beautiful. I second that. I'm thankful for our apartment, and
Yeah, me too.
as crazy
As it is, even with the mice in the ceiling.
I'm thankful that we
They're
have.
gone
I'm
now.
so thankful we have a place to live and a place that we can call our own, and I'm thankful that it's warm in the winter because
Yeah, shelter.
Idaho's cold.
Idaho's cold.
You can't
man.
make it, and so we're warm, cozy
Yeah,
every day, and I'm thankful for that.
I agree. I am actually very grateful for the hundreds and thousands of men and women who have come before me and just given back to the world the knowledge that they possess through books and through
cool.
speaking, because that's what's actually helped me stay grounded and stay structured. Because books like the Bible, books like Og Mandino's books, and thousands of others. I'm very grateful for each of them that have inspired me to not only be a better person, but ultimately strive to live up to my potential.
Yeah. I'm super thankful for our family's health. We're all very healthy. And I've been, like, through this experience of having our babies, I'm so thankful for the medical teams and the nurses and the doctors and the people who have cared for our family, me and the girls.
They advocate for
our health and our well-being. And there's so many wonderful nurses who just have, it's just so humbling because Elijah and I have really never been in a situation where we need
to go to the doctor all the time.
Intensive medical care. And so to have this experience of being reliant on these people has been very humbling, but also we're just so thankful to those people who do care for us and have helped us to stay really healthy and happy throughout this whole experience.
Yeah, no, absolutely. That also reminds me of something I didn't even write down, but I'm grateful for insurance.
Yeah.
Sometimes it doesn't make sense when you're healthy and you have to pay up the yin yang, and then all of a sudden it's like, what was the point of me paying for insurance? But then on situations like this, I'm very grateful for those programs out there that allow us to be able to afford healthcare and make sure that Meg and our babies are okay, and it doesn't break the bank in order for us to get the proper medical attention for our babies and for Meg.
Yeah. In terms of the babies too, I'm just really thankful for all the people who gave us baby gifts.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, just supported our babies in that way too. We've had
friends, family members.
These girls and me and Elijah have
grandmothers.
so many people who support us.
Yeah,
and who are like rooting for us, and it's so cool.
Absolutely. I also want to say I'm very grateful for the sports that I was able to participate in, because I feel like sports taught me more about life than any other experience that I ever had or any other book. And I'm very grateful for those coaches and those athletes and those teammates that really helped me along the way to shape and mold me into the person I am today.
Yeah. I'm thankful for you guys.
Yeah.
The people who are here listening to our podcast. Thanks for being here.
Yeah, absolutely. Thanks for being here. Thanks for being a part of this. I'm also thankful for education, not necessarily school, but education, to be able to learn and grow and progress. And really, honestly, that's part of this podcast. Like, it's listed as an educational podcast because we hope what we've learned can educate each and every one of you. And it's powerful because me and Meg actually learn while doing this podcast. It's kind of like an affirmation.
Yeah.
Because it's like, man, like, I said some great stuff this podcast. Like, I believe that. Like, I really true that.
Or I need to be better. This.
Yeah. Right. And so, like, even this Thanksgiving Day podcast is one that we can look back on and just be able to reflect and be grateful again for those tender mercies when someday, we never want to get prideful, but someday we might be in a nicer home, at least I hope, than an apartment. But when that day comes, that we look back and we're still grateful for that, little apartment in the basement.
Yeah, absolutely. I think the last thing I want to talk about is just, I'm thankful that we've chosen to pursue a life of freedom.
Yeah.
And that because of that, we have a lifestyle in which we get to spend a lot of time with each other that most people don't get to. And I'm really, really thankful for that.
I would agree. I would encourage each and every one of you to do the same, because in that freedom, it brings so much more time to be able to focus on that which matters most. And truly, I'm an advocate for, we both are an advocate for you chasing your dreams, but being able to chase those dreams with the people that you love most, and not having to push them to the side or neglect them in any way, shape, or form, but rather have them there with you going through this process.
Yeah.
Well, thank you so much, you guys, for listening on to this episode of the Thanksgiving Party. If you get a moment, take some time and maybe even write a letter of gratitude, just of the things that you're grateful for. And if you don't have time to do that, just ponder for a minute, maybe during Thanksgiving dinner, and just take a minute to think of what you're truly grateful for this Thanksgiving Day.
All right.
Perfect.
See
Thanks,
you guys
guys.
next time.
Bye.
Bye.
You've been listening to The Endless Party. Please feel free to join us over at our website, theendlessparty.com, for more of our content. Also, we would love to hear from you. Leave some comments and let us know what you're interested in us talking about.
Seriously, like, subscribe, leave a 5-star rating, whatever it is the platform says to do, so that we can keep partying together.